Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show bonus one today. The normal time now is 10:27 a.m. right after the Ramsey Show on YouTube is over, and that starts at 9 a.m. and that's new since Monday, since yesterday. And so probably for the rest of the week, at least for a couple more days, at least, I'll be doing one show right after the Ramsey show, and then another one at 4 p.m. And we'll see where the most views come from. I would imagine it would be the one in the morning right after the flagship show. All right, let's get going here. Alrighty. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and for my financial content, you just scroll past the Oak Island playlist. You'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist, and today is, earlier was 536, so this one is number 537 in that playlist, so plenty of stuff to listen to there. In the back catalog, you know, listen to it all. For sure, if you got nothing better to do. Answering your financial questions playlist has 138 in there. And the music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in them, including, let's see, how to do the baby steps right. And so that tells all the things that people, when they do it wrong, you're doing it wrong. When they do the baby steps incorrectly or misinterpret them or just don't do it the right way because they want to do it their own way. And that's fine. I support anybody doing what they want to with their own life and their money. Absolutely, knock yourself out. But, you know, you don't have to compare it to the baby steps then. You don't have to reconcile it with the baby steps. You can just do the dumb crap you want to do. Market report. And of course, it's not scrolled up. So unprofesh. And now the market's closed. And so we see the NASDAQ down 0.87%. Dow Jones 0.95%, almost at 1% down. But basically a normal down day, not 2+% territory. So basically normal. Let's see. Europe mostly down, Asia mostly up. And the US dollar was a clean sweep for the rest of the world earlier. And let's see what it is now. Euro, Japanese yen, the British pound low, the Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar, mate. It's still a clean sweep for the US dollar. Futures look down as well. Who do we have? Oh, AMD just reported. I don't know if they'll have anything on that yet. Look, kind of crashed there at the end before the announcement. Maybe it leaks or whatever. Don't know. Let's see. Do we have anything? Might come back and check it in a little while then. So no, it did not come back. So we'll check that in a little bit. What else do we have from the market report? Oh, got a couple articles. Deliveroo DoorDash to purchase UK rival Deliveroo for $3.9 billion. So that's great. Don't really have much to say about that, except I did notice, interestingly enough, Deliveroo up almost 2% today. And that was announced like 5 a.m. Eastern time this morning, so before the trading today. So they knew about it all day today. And that is the case there. Almost 2% up. But DoorDash, almost 7.5% down. And they're the ones that are going to be buying Deliveroo. So I thought that was interesting. And what else do we have? CNBC, Mattel CEO says toy manufacturing won't come to America, but price hikes will. Okay, that's great. And so there'll be less toys being bought. Let's see, do not foresee toy manufacturing coming to America. That's fine. You'll sell fewer toys then. 145% tariff again. That's what on Chinese. And I imagine that might get negotiated. By the end of the year, less than 40% of Mattel's products will be sourced from China, with the goal of reducing that to below 25% in the next 2 years. Great. Where are they coming from then? If not America, where are they? I wonder where they're being built. Let's see. Maybe it says. Just curious. No country will, in 2 years, no country will represent more than 25%. Okay. Diversifying away from China. And it's not going to tell me where else. All right, I will do some Googling about this another time, and we'll see about that. But yeah, unless I missed it, let me check one more time. Get closer to the screen there. Yeah, I mean, you could just easily say, oh, they're also in these 3 countries then, you know. Because if it's 25% split, that's 4 ways. So it's got to be China and 3 other countries. And if it's not America, where is it? So I'll be looking into that. Alrighty. So we did Reddit questions earlier today. Reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and that's run by fans. These questions have been pulled from the Facebook group, and that is called the Ohio State University, the Ramsey Baby Steps community, and that is run by Ramsey Solutions. And again, over there on the Facebook, and I don't have usernames because the username is often the person's actual name on the Facebook, so I don't have that. Just the questions or comments. I have a 2024 Honda Civic with a $470 payment. I am wanting to get out of this, and buy a hoopty. All right. Approved. I am probably upside down about $2,000. I have money in my savings from a homeowner's insurance claim. My question is, should I sell my car private party and use some of my insurance money to pay off the loan as well as buying a cheap car? The work on my home will not be done for at least a couple of months, so I will have a couple of months to save up to pay back the insurance money, which should be easy. Why wouldn't it be? Unless you spend the money on something else dumbly, without the almost $500 car payment. Indeed. But I'm nervous about using the insurance money for something other than the home repair. I have a total of 39, almost 40,000 in debt, and the car is 23.5 of that. And so would be down to $15,800 in consumer debt. So yeah, that is the case. Since they gave you the money, I would think it's up to you whether you even get that done or not. Like if car insurance, if they give you a check, you don't have to buy another car with that. If it's total, or if they give it to you to fix something, you don't have to get it fixed. You can use that money to get another car instead. Now, some car insurance, I know they will only make out the check to the the garage, the auto repair shop that you get the work done at. So I have heard of that before. But as far as and if it's something that is cosmetic in the house, homeowners insurance claim. So it could be something, if it's just cosmetic, you don't have to ever get it done. And you said it's not going to be done for a couple months. I would ask why the delay. And if you can delay it 2 months, why not longer than that? Delay it until you're completely out of debt and you have your full emergency fund, is what I would say. But that would be the only thing on that. Since they gave you the money, then it's up to you what you do with the money, as far as I know. Let's see. And this the next one. Well, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Lois Sema, we did it. Aside from our mortgage, we're officially debt-free. No car payment. No student loans, no credit card debt. We stayed true to our path, kept investing for retirement. You're doing it wrong. Maintain a larger emergency fund. You're doing it wrong. Thanks to past health scares and welcome to amazing kids along the way. It feels surreal. And now I just wanted to save all the money. Great, do it. Good job. Congratulations on being debt-free, and that is the next step, unless you're going to change that too. That would be to save the 3 to 6 months emergency fund. So since you like to change things, maybe you'll have a longer, more than 6 month emergency fund or something like that, just because you think you need to change things. But congratulations on being debt-free regardless, for sure. Our family is on baby step 3, and it has been a long road for us to get there, or to get here. Get here. As a young couple, it's also been hard and at times discouraging because our church family, mainly Hispanic, is not on the same page. Right? Well, you can't expect anybody to be. I mean, at this point, you have to be surprised if anybody is extremely happy for you or understands and is doing the same thing. There's not going to be a lot. We're the abnormal people. We're the weirdos. If people have debt, they are the normal ones. We're not. So you just have to accept that fact. And you do things like join the Ramsey Baby Steps community on the Facebook or the subreddit on Reddit, the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You get camaraderie, or the Ramsey Show chat. That's at 9 a.m. now. Started yesterday, being at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're awake that time, you can be among kindred spirits. But just out in the free world and all your friends and family, probably not. I mean, the odds are that if you're doing it, nobody you know is doing that and understands. Let's see, we love sharing with other younger couples our journey, but it's just not something they consider. Yeah. I'm thinking this is a cultural thing because even our parents thought we were a little weird starting the debt-free journey. It has nothing to do with being Hispanic. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It's just dumbass crap that people pass down. My parents said to me all the time, you'll always have debt, you'll always have a car payment, and they were not correct about that. So, um, yeah, so it's not a cultural thing. It's just normal for everybody to have debt and to not even think that, oh, why would you be debt free? They wouldn't even think about that. That would never cross their mind. The only problem, see, when it becomes a problem, when they all of a sudden find out, oh, wow, we're cutting it pretty close here with the amount of debt payments we have to make plus our expenses. And then that's when they do a Google search for pay off debt. And then they come across Mr. Ramsey, and he's the no debt guy. And you shouldn't have had any debt all along. And then you would have never had the problem. So you did it wrong, and so now maybe you can do it right, but even then, still, people won't follow the advice, just like these people who did get debt-free, but they wanted to do it their own way, and that means it took longer for them to get there, because they didn't do it the Ramsey way. Let's see where we're at. But now they're so excited for us. Oh, great. It's discouraging because we have no one to share or receive feedback. Yeah, that's going to happen. So that's what I say. You look for kindred spirits where you can. Ramsey Show chat or the subreddit or this Facebook group. Can we see if anyone on here has a similar experience and what has encouraged you? Any and all words of encouragement is appreciated. I'm happy enough for myself where I don't have to have anybody else be happy for me. It's great if they are, and I of course love encouraging other people that are trying to do the same thing that I did, but I don't need it. And I'm a big advocate of accepting reality. And the reality is most people are not going to do this because they don't think that they are doing anything that's wrong because it's so normal. It's so marketed to you. Debt is marketed to you like crazy. And when you have your parents telling you that this is the way it's always going to be, it takes, something big for you to say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't think this is a good idea at all. And normally what has to happen is you have to get in trouble with it. As I said, when you start having problems, when you don't have any extra. You don't have any extra during the month. Between debt payments and expenses, you have nothing left. Or when it starts to get like that, some people are lucky and discover it's going that way and is not sustainable. And so they cut it out early, and of course they get done faster with the baby steps because they have less debt than the rest of us. Oh, I didn't ever start that. But yeah, so yeah, Ramsey Show chat is a great place to go for like-minded people. And of course, there'll be some trolls in there, but you can't let them ruin your day. Just blockity block them. I feel like, for me, this debt payoff process is such a slow process. Well, yeah, you're limited by the amount of your income. So if you want it to be faster, hey, got a great idea, work more. Spend less. You can also do that. Or hey, better yet, do both. Work more and spend less, and then it goes faster. I don't have a ton of extra to throw at debt to get my snowball method starting. Well, that's why it's so slow, because you spending too much money or have too much debt. And you might be in a situation where you need to sell cars or something like that. Let's see, I'm doing what I can to get the most out of my budget to throw towards debt. But it all takes time. It does. And the more debt you have, the more it's going to take. And the more money you need to be making. So, see, it's taking a lot of self-discipline and patience. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And people don't have that. And they're not willing to even try to do it. So I'm celebrating the little win. I paid off one of my Affirm loans today. Nothing huge, but slowly chipping away. Yeah, that's great. That's great. But the problem is, unless you get that income up, unless you stop spending on completely everything that is not 100% necessary, most people end up giving up because it's so slow, and it's slow, slow. That's your fault that it's so slow, because you're doing it wrong. But yeah, might have a car, something needs to sell, something big. Might need to move down in housing, that kind of thing too. And that's what you got to do. If you can get out of debt 3 years, in 3 years, then, fine, keep your dumb cars if you want to, and pay them off. But if it starts going over 3 years, that's when you got to sell houses and cars and stuff. Alrighty. What all do you include in your 3 to 6 month emergency fund? I've seen many different examples. What do you do? Okay. Feel like I'm drowning. I live in low income housing based on, is this the same one, or did I not put a space in between there? This seems like it's two different things. So let me go ahead and address the thing. It's 3 to 6 months of expenses, and that's necessary expenses to live. So that wouldn't include, say, investing. The amount that you put towards investing, that would not be included in your expenses, that you would multiply by 3, 3.5, 4, 4.2, 4.8, whatever you want to do, to up anywhere from 3 to 6 is fine. If you have a mortgage, I would recommend doing 6 for sure, but you don't do more than 6. But also, you don't inflate your expenses by including such things as investing. So anything that's optional, you would not include in that. And so that's also not going to be travel sports for the kiddos. That's only gonna be things 100% necessary to live. Obviously, mortgage or rent payment, grocery, not eating out, that's not included. You shouldn't be doing that anyway until you're done with the emergency fund. So that's that one, and I don't know, I can't remember if this was like in April. I can't remember if these are supposed to be two different ones. Let's see. I feel like I'm drowning. I live in low income housing based on a percentage of fixed rate of our pay. It's jumped up to nearly $700, and my electric gas is budget billing plus the HEAP, HEAP, and it's $200 a month. I don't know if that's some program to help you with power. Electric and power, that might be there. That might just be the local utility there. That right there is an entire check after taxes. Okay, does anyone else feel like they've shaved their budget down as much as possible and are still scraping the bottom of the barrel? Yeah, that means you don't make enough money then, or you still haven't cut everything that you can. You're holding on to the dumb cable or whatever the crap you're spending money on, you're holding on to that. Or if you've already cut everything that's not 100% essential, then yeah, you just don't make enough money. Sorry. And so that would mean, again, if you're in step 2, but if you're talking about emergency fund, then theoretically you would be done with step 2. And so that should be a lot easier on you now that you're not paying off debt. because you're using your snowball amount now to pay off yourself in the form of the emergency fund. Let's see. I barely make enough to be just out of range for public assistance. Yeah, and so that's a good way to tell. Guess what? If you are just out of the range of public assistance, you don't make enough money. Work more. Get a better job that pays more. Literally $14 annually. Too much. Oh, $14, only $14 too much annually. Yeah, oh, that's a shame, isn't it? But yeah, so you don't make much money at all then. So you need to make more money. Or move to a lower cost of living area. I'm considering actually getting a lower paying position to get some assistance and lower our rent. Is that crazy? Yes, that would not be recommended. And I think, yeah, this is the same one, I think. For context, I'm the only parent. Of course, I assume that. My child is severely disabled. I cannot work extra jobs for more money. Yep, and that sucks. That sucks, but income is how you make your finances get better. And, I don't know if you have actually cut your budget down to the bone, or if you're justification stationing some extra expenses because you feel like you deserve it or something like that. So I don't know. If you're doing everything, that's all you can do. I have to be home as the sole caregiver and take him to appointments. I do lots of online service for pocket change. When I work, my mom watches him, but has her own full-time job on top of it. We qualify only for secondary Medicaid. We can the LI heat. Yeah, so that's some kind of program, I guess, for cheaper electricity. And that's it. I don't want to live on the system, right? But I'm maxed out what I can make in our area. So unless we move, yep, and lose my mom's support, might have to. I'm at the most of what I can do. That, again, unfortunately, is very sad, but there's no magic button. You cannot do that. You have to be able to make enough money so that you can pay your expenses. And it doesn't say, I mean, if this is the same person that was asking about emergency fund, then you don't have debt. See, and we don't know what debt is happening here. Phone bill, $55. That doesn't seem bad. Renter's insurance, car insurance, those aren't bad. Disability supplies, $200. That adds up. Travel to appointments, $250. That's a lot of appointments. Student loans, $163. So yeah, that doesn't help. Trying to rebuild emergency fund. You shouldn't have a large emergency fund until after the student loans are paid off. So you're doing it wrong. Losing barely anything at the end of the month. Any advice? Please be kind to me. Sure. I don't know what to tell you except the truth is that you have to be able to have an income that will pay for everything you need in the area you've chosen to live in. And now if you can't do that and you're limited in working, there's no solution to that. Like you've already found a partial solution by your mom watching the child when you are at work, and things like that. Maybe your church or your city may have some other thing in addition to the Medicaid, WIC, and the power thing or the utilities thing. They may have some other kind of things as well, but there's no magic button. And so, it's great that you found Dave Ramsey, but the baby steps require income to make the baby steps happen. So yeah, no magic, unfortunately. So yeah, check with church and city to see if they have anything that they can do for you. I'm on baby step 2. Had my son in June of 2024. He has been lucky enough to get money for all holidays, etc., from his grandparents and great-grandparents. Wondering if I should open a savings account or 529 for him. Not sure which makes more sense. Thanks. You can do either. You can do either if you want to. I mean, he's gonna be wanting video games and stuff when he gets a little bit older, and so you could use the money for that then. Or you could force him to use this money for college, and then he'd have to use new gift money for fun things like that. You know, even all the way up to go his first car, that kind of thing. And so, you know, you should make this mistake yourself. You should make this decision yourself. But because it's you that will have to live with the decision. So you should do what you think is best. No problem getting different ideas for sure. Maybe somebody else will have another idea, but just a regular savings account, because that get a little bit of interest, or the 529, which is the state educational savings account, and you can, it has an investment component in it. Our largest debt, my stupid minivan, was just pounded by hail last night. It looks like a Kiyo golf ball. Yep. Is it wrong for me to secretly hope they total it? I'm fine with it. I mean, you're not secretly doing it because you're telling us about it. So it's not a secret anymore. So, I mean, I'm fine with it. You secretly hoping is not going to change what happens. Even if they do, what is the best course of action? Never had a vehicle damage like this before. If it's not totaled, do I repair it or drive my expensive golf? You drive the expensive golf ball, or you could sell it. You said it's the largest debt, so you could sell it and get a beater car instead. Now, granted, if it's got hail damage, you're probably not going to be able to sell it for as much. But still, you can lower the debt and by getting rid of this particular payment, you can do that. And so just depends on how much you're underwater on it. You can get a loan for that, because your loan for that's going to be lower than the loan you have for the Kiyo right now. So that's what you would do there. Has Dave ever discussed what a healthy percentage of your home value would be relative to your entire net worth? No, I think once you get up to that point, I don't recall him saying that. Yeah, I don't recall him ever talking about that, saying it should be like X amount. Once you get up to that level, where you would even think about such a thing, I think I think that's up to you. You probably don't want it to be a ton, but say, like, for example, the newer millionaires, like if you just became a millionaire today, probably most of your net worth is because of the house. Usually that's the way it happens. I know it's 25% house payment rule, right? That has nothing to do with the percentage of home value relative to your net worth. That you can't pull that number and have that going there. What about having too much of your net worth tied into your home equity? I would feel a lot better if I had a net worth of $1 million and my house is only $300K. Yeah, that's fine to do. You don't have to meet a minimum. You get to choose. You can have a cheap house as you want to. With your $1 million net worth, that's fine. Versus someone that has a 1 million net worth and the house was $750K, that's going to be more likely the scenario that you can't eat your house. That's true, and you are the one that limits the amount. of that. I wish I could make this anonymous because this is hard and personal, but I'm going through a divorce and now I'm lost. I'm working while the kids are at school and it's only minimum wage because they also provide childcare, so I don't have a large take home. Okay. And it is anonymous on here. I'm working with kid. I'm working while the kids are at school, and it's only minimum wage because they also provide childcare, so I don't have a large take home. Almost completed my emergency fund, maybe 3 more paychecks. Okay. I know I'll get some of the equity in the house, but I don't want to rent, let alone have to stay in state. Okay, well, you not wanting to rent, that might have nothing to do with reality. You're not in a situation to buy a house. So you might not be able to make that work. I mean, depending on how much equity it is, how much of a down payment you can put down, it depends on where you would move to. So there's a bunch of ifs here, so a bunch of variables. What should I be doing until the sale? Should I just turn around and put it back into a house? I couldn't make the rest of it fit. That's Total Eclipse of the Heart. Bonnie Tyler. I don't think I'll ever qualify for a loan with how little I make. Okay, then you can't put it back into a house. Unless it's a lot of equity that you're getting that you could buy a really cheap house somewhere else. So if you move, like, say, if you're in like New York City now and you move to the Midwest somewhere, you might be able to make that work, but it depends on how much that is. My husband make 4 times, but has told me we can't keep the house or buy him out for what we paid for it. Yep, and you wouldn't want that to happen anyway. You wouldn't want to do that because that's making too much of trouble. That will get you into trouble because you don't make enough. You can't afford it. So we'll be needing to move. Yes. How do I navigate this? You get ready to move. You have to have X amount of dollars to move. How do I gain confidence and financial stability again? You're going to have to make more money somehow. Or move to a really low cost of living place. I don't feel like, for me, I've had any control in 6 years. I spent all my savings on the down payment and new flooring. Okay. Alrighty. And that was while you were married and you thought you were going to stay married. Hopefully. It does say spouse, right? Yeah, divorce. Okay, so yes. All right. But see, it shouldn't have, see, this is the whole thing. So if it was your savings, should it be mine and his? No, it shouldn't. It should be ours. And so if it was, I mean, that's the first sign of trouble, that they didn't have their finances combined. Might be for the best overall, though. Now, if the husband, say, has a bunch of debt in his name, let's see. I never had any access to the accounts, right? Basically, a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, I gave up my work life to allow for moves and any career objective he's ever reached for. We originally had a consent decree, okay, but after he started seeing his girlfriend more seriously, everything he said turned into, I never said that. Now I have to use a lawyer too. Yeah. Yep. That'll happen as well. But I'm afraid that's going to cost me the house equity. Is there any advice? Please be kind. I'm struggling with depression and loss of codependency, as he was one of my only friends. Yeah, that's rough as crap. But again, there's no magic button here. The world runs on income. You have to be able to have the income, and you're used to living in a house, and I know that will suck now to move into a tiny apartment now, but that's probably the way it's going to have to be. And lawyer's going to cost what it's going to cost. It just depends on whether it's worth fighting for whatever he said he was going to do. So if it's like he said, I mean, the consent decree, it depends on what was in it. And so, it depends on if it stipulated actual things by the court, then the court can make him do pay up on that. But it depends on if how legal it was. But there's no way, unfortunately. I wish I had that could make things good like that, but by just snapping your fingers, but you can't. You have to live in an area that you can get ahead financially in. And that may mean you downgrade your lifestyle to the bone. Like you're only buying things that are 100% necessary. And that's what you should start doing immediately. You should already started that. So yeah, I mean, some would say the not having finances together and him having all the control, major red flag, and that doomed it from the beginning. But you're here now. You can't go back and change it. No DeLoreans available. So, I can only say good luck on this. And you just have to do the best you can do, while also being realistic about your expectations. Being realistic about the situation. Today I saw our first sinking fund pay off. Excellent. Amazon Prime annual subscription renewed, and we had the full amount plus a little interest in savings that I just transferred over to checking. Yay for the budget. Absolutely. That's exactly what a sinking fund is. It's to pay, not just a general slush fund to take care of anything you might want to buy one day, or if any emergency comes up, you have the emergency fund for emergencies. But you don't have a slush fund just in case you want to buy something. This is an actual thing. The Amazon Prime annual subscription renewed. Probably not the best thing to have, because some would say that prompts you to buy more stuff than you actually need. But whatever. That's the thing that they chose to have the sinking fund for. And so it worked absolutely correctly. And that's exactly what they're for. They are for when you have a known upcoming expense. And Amazon Prime does have an expense, and it is annual, so you know what day it's coming up. Also, Christmas, December 25th, every single year. So you know about that already. So Christmas can't sneak up on you or anything like that. When saving 3 to 6 months of expenses, I'm assuming it's everything I'm budgeting in every dollar. No, it's not. 3 to 6 months of expenses assumes there is an emergency. And it's only 100% necessary things that should be included. Like the amount you're investing, that's a no, that's not included in there. Cable, not included. I'll let you have internet, sure. Is this including retirement contributions? That's a no. Miscellaneous sinking funds like Christmas, car maintenance, no, all those go away. It's emergency time. All those would go away in the case of an emergency. So it does not include any of that. Car maintenance, maybe you can talk me into that more than Christmas. Here's it, bills only. Yeah, it's things that are 100% necessary to live. Just wondering if it's really 3 to 6 months of income. No, it's not. It's of expenses. That's why Mr. Ramsey says expenses, which is different than income. You thinking about it, Ron? We were baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Oh, then what happened? Bet fell back into debt. You mean butt fell back into debt, and was it because of betting, of gambling? Um, and so your phone auto corrected it to bet because you've been putting that in there too much. The three debts we have now are our two vehicle loans and the house. So okay, so maybe they had the house beforehand, sure, but if you were on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, then one of you thought you needed to finance a vehicle, and then the other one of you, since one spouse gets one, the other spouse has to double it, doubling it, has to double the dumbassery and get two finance vehicles. And so how you fix this is you sell those cars and you get beaters like you darn well know you should have originally. It's been a while since I've listened to the show. Well, it doesn't say to do that dumb crap, does it? But I can't remember when making an extra payment on top of the regular monthly payment. On the auto loan, do we do a regular payment so it still would apply interest, or would we do a principal only payment? Yeah, if you have to specify it, you would. But on auto loans, I don't know if it works that way. It depends on how your auto loan is. Some of the auto loans have all the interest built in, unfortunately. So even if you pay it off, they still get you on the interest. But you would still pay it off as soon as possible there. I'm assuming principal only payments for the, but if you see like on the website or whatever where it asks you if you want to do principal only, then I'm assuming that they would do that. And that's better that it's on, if it's on their website, because that means it happens automatically and there's not some dummy at the wherever they work processing it and doing it wrong, even though it says on the check, it says in the memo principal only, and they don't apply it to principal only, and they do it wrong. And so that happens with mortgages all the time. I'm assuming principal only payments for the extra thrown at it will help bring it down quicker. Yes, because when you put money towards principal, that takes the principal amount down. And so the lower the principal amount, the lower the interest that you'll be paying is. Alrighty, and that is all of them. Well, we didn't quite get through a whole hour here, but pretty cool. Thanks much, Liddy, for watching my second one of the day here. And I'll probably, again, do streams probably in the rest of this week. Possibly, at least tomorrow. I'll commit to tomorrow doing both of them. And likely, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah. So I'll commit to, I'll do one. It is 10:27 a.m. Eastern Time is when the Ramsey show on YouTube is done for the delayed streaming. It's delayed streaming of it's live streaming, but it's pre-recorded video that they're live streaming. So YouTube doesn't have a special word for that, and so that's why it still says live on it. But people always think it's live, and they're dumb. They don't know any better. So yeah, 10:27 a.m. and 4 p.m. So probably for the rest of this week, I'll be doing that as I decide which slot is better for me to do it at 4, which is the previous Ramsey show time on YouTube, or if I should do it right after the Ramsey show, which I'm leaning towards right after the Ramsey show, but we'll see how it goes after this week is over. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Oh, I guess we got a minute. Let's see. Let's look it up. Who is that? Mattel? Mattel. Factory locations. No, factory country. Mattel. Oh, you got to spell it correctly. Thankfully, they go ahead and say, "Well, we know you're dumb. We know you can't type. We'll go ahead and change it to Mattel." Um, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Mexico, and Thailand. Oh, okay. So they got 5. All right. So yeah, certainly when you can divide it by 5, that is even a better chance that they'll all be no more than 25%. So, yep. You got cheap labor, cheap labor, cheap labor, cheap labor, cheap labor, cheap labor. How about that? Oh, they also have factories in Canada or USA, not according to what the CEO said. He said there's not going to be, maybe it means there's not going to be any more. Maybe they have some. Let's see. Reducing reliance on China. Yeah, we read that already. What about USA? Manufacturing facilities USA, including a recently opened factory in Arizona. All right. Well, we don't need them to just have a present. We need it to be manufacturing. So, yeah. So I didn't think they had any in the United States. But maybe the article should have said no new. Oh, where is that? Until says toy manufacturing won't come to America. I guess maybe from China or from any of the other ones, but they must do a little bit of it here already. I don't know. I don't know. It's sus to me, is what that sounds like to me, because they already have manufacturing in Arizona, apparently. All right, so that was good that we had extra time for that. So we have closure on it. It's good to have closure, and that is one thing we don't get often on the Ramsey show, or even on this show, because we don't know what the people that write the questions, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if they are going to do the Ramsey idea, or if they figure out something when they don't have an income or don't have enough income. And they're in situations like a couple of those people were, like 3 or 4 of those people were. And that is one of the differences with the Facebook group, because you do have a lot more of that, where it is people with heartbreaking situations. But again, you can't just snap your fingers and make it go away. You have to have income to fix any financial problems. That's how it works. Alrighty. Thanks everybody for watching, whether you're watching now live or if you're watching later. Much appreciated. And if you have money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about anything going on my channel or financial coaching or anything financial. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, again, a Walmart gift card to same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, this stream, the Ramsey show, Aftershow show. And again, for the next couple days at least, maybe the rest of this week, at least, I'll be doing 10:27 a.m. Eastern Time, which is after the new time of the Ramsey show. It starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's done at 10:27 a.m. Eastern Time. That's when I'll start, and then the bonus after show at 4 p.m. Eastern, as you can see right there. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, that's the thumbs up button, and comment. And thank you so much if you've done those things already. Zach says, was there a live show, Dave Ramsey? Okay. There's not been live video for almost 4 years now. What has been happening in that time was it was delayed 2 hours and showing at 4 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube. But now they're delaying it 19 hours or more. Because if it's the Friday show, it gets delayed until Monday morning at 9. But as you can see, so you see, Zach, if you just look right up above do you see where I said the Ramsey show was recorded each weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern? Yeah, that's radio show. That's been happening for probably forever. For as long as I can remember. It's been recorded at 2 p.m. And it used to be live video, but then it stopped and was delayed 2 hours so that they could cut out the commercials so that YouTube would publicize it more for the algorithm, etc., if you don't have the extra commercials in there. And so they did get more views from that. And so yeah, so the one from this past Friday was shown yesterday, Monday morning at 9. So the previous weekday show debuts on YouTube the next weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So Friday one goes to Monday, the Monday one goes to Tuesday, etc. So yeah. Yep. So just because it's chatting and just because and unfortunately YouTube, the stream says live, and that is correct. They don't have a special word for, YouTube doesn't have one for a live stream of pre-recorded video. They don't have a different word for that. So, but that's what it is. It's pre-recorded video and has been for 4 years now. And now it's just changed times from it's not even the same day anymore. It goes to at least the next day, or if it's, the next weekday it goes to. So yeah, that's 9 a.m. And that mod did say for now, so maybe they have something else going on as well. And likely trying to get more people to the app, where you can watch it. Oh, it's still delayed. You can't watch live video on there. It's still delayed, but that's still at 4 p.m. and that includes all 3 radio hours. Alrighty, well, cool. We had enough to take us to almost the end of the hour. And where was I? Oh yeah, I think I finished everything, didn't I? Except I didn't say always make smart financial decisions every day.